Welcome to the Clashing of Steel. And today, once again, I am having fun with elephants. And you just gotta love when you send in elephant and the opponents realize they have no choice. The moment they saw me, they basically turned around. This is the effect that the elephant can often have. You just send it with the infantry troops or perhaps even with horsemen, and you can already feel that opponents who don't have any counters or anything that can delay or perhaps scare away elephants are forced to run themselves. So often enough you just need an elephant as a force. You need to have infantry behind it, or otherwise the elephant might die a horrible, painful death. Sadly, I am forcing alone here. I know there are horsemen next to me, but I'm facing spear units, so I would prefer some infantry with me. But no worries, I can manage to wreak some havoc at least. Although those swordsmen back there could have been a lot more useful in supporting me. And, well, at least archers are dealing with the dogs, so that is one great thing happening here. And oh, I'm getting some support with the scorched dirt as well. Still, my main focus is to do a bit of damage and try not to get surrounded by all the spearmen. I know I can do a lot of damage to them if there's a ton of them. But I don't want to take unnecessary damage, so it would be ideal if I would have swordsmen or spearmen next to me. You just need to force, and you don't need to get too greedy. That is the other key feature. They are going aggressive right now. At first they were defensive. They probably understand that it isn't good if they have to fight me and the swordsman at the same time. But if they are forced to fight my elephants alone, that is a rather optional thing that can often pay off. I'm sure there are many players who would have just dominated this place with 2 elephants or 3 elephants, or perhaps even with 1 elephant, who knows. But one of my biggest fears is to take unnecessary damage even with the elephant. I can support it here. This is an excellent location, right up there on the hill. My biggest wish is that these swordsmen would have been here a bit earlier. Right now my focus is to go through them and turn around. Just that I could face my stomp away from my own troops. And this is excellent right now. Minimal friendly troops got hit and are pushed down by it. Many elephant players actually don't position their stomp so that it would be reasonably good or reasonably great. But I often try to do it because the more of my friendly troops are down, the more damage we can inflict on the opponents who are knocked down. Managing an elephant, or perhaps even 2 elephants in a single fight, can often be hard, especially if you want to stomp perfectly and not all 3 at the same time, like it was done here. All 3 or 2 stomps at the same time can indeed inflict huge damage, but at the same time, the knockdown, if you're a support unit with your infantry, knockdown effect might be a bit more valuable, like sending your elephants in from different directions and stomping one by one, just knocking your opponents down. It is debatable because all 3 stomps, when you're deep inside a unit, can annihilate your opponent, of course. But at the same time, you need to calculate the risks. Catapults, light artillery, javelins, everything that may harass you when you are sending all your 3 units in the same location. A single catapult rock could actually hit all 3 units. There are a lot of different factors which often mold players' playstyles. Players who learn from their mistakes or have gotten punished hard by the mistakes they have made might be careful and play rather carefully by trying to spread their units out. Easy example still being hit by the catapult when you're playing elephants, or stacked units of any sorts. I usually don't like playing elephants. I think I say that quite a lot. Simply because how they change the dynamic of the battlefield. Swordsmen might fight against swordsmen, but when there are elephants, no one will want to stay there. There are few main counters like the pikes or catapults, perhaps even the javelins and the light artillery. So the main problem often isn't that there aren't counters for the elephants. but that there aren't any counters in your current match, or teamwork or your team counters don't know how to play against elephants. Comparing how easy it is to play elephants and how hard it can often be to play elephant counters, these two just aren't comparable. Of course, with a smart team, elephants can easily be countered. As you often see, I try to play elephants rather smart. I try to be useful with them. But even if I would play like a total moron, like let's say a new player basically, go head on in with all 3 elephants and stomp, I would still earn ridiculous amounts of score. And oh crap, I kinda unnecessarily sacrificed these arches back there. I could have probably used my elephant to take the dogs head on in, at least take the dogs away from the arches. But this is what happens when I get greedy with elephants. This is what happens when I get comfortable and greedy. I know I'm dominating, but I get too greedy, let's say. Still, I managed to get in front of the archers at least, and save them that much. So, as usual, elephants are useless without melee support. Well, maybe not useless, but they are a lot easier to deal with when there aren't any infantry types nearby. But still, I will be dominating here. I mean, they already know what I have done to them, they already see it. Plus, I am smarter and stronger. And I just need to use that strength in right locations, in right ways, and I failed with Stomp, oh god. Yeah, I'm getting definitely cocky right now. There's no other option. I do indeed love the combination of elephants and infantry. You can use your infantry to support your elephants, or vice versa. You can't go wrong with having infantry with elephants. Personally, I think that elephants should be played with infantry. That should be like a must-have. With proper team that works together, elephants can of course work wonders. But as long as you're playing with some players who barely understand what they do, I think infantry, spearmen or swordsmen should be something that one should have. At least when playing with below average tunnel crowd. Perhaps I should not be playing elephants, I turn into a nasty piece of work with them. And, well, I'm not giving these guys a chance to breathe. I am not saying that elephants are an easy win option, although they can feel it in right situations and when they are played correctly. They can feel so effortless and so easy to manage, while at the same time they require actually a lot of positioning and management. And well, this right here is the elephant's greatest fear, getting surrounded by remnants of remnants. Basically, elephant isn't a great option against remnants, killing a handful of soldiers that have survived somehow, like those back there. They will just surround it on all sides, and the elephant will have trouble targeting, well, all of them, of course. I am sure there are a lot more remarkable elephant players than I am. I just try to play logical and tactical with them. They are just such a force to reckon with, and they often can't be ignored. But okay, let's head over to the scoreboard. As it can be seen, I earned a ridiculous amount of score. I did basically everything except defense. Well, mostly everything except massive defense. So the opponents I faced at the first were the spearmen. And, well, Hastropal didn't do so well against me. He did get some support points for, I'm guessing it was Discovery, but mostly he just suffered everything we threw at him. And by we, I mean the other guy, the Germanicus player who was with me at that location, which is the second best or the first worst Germanicus player in my team. And of course we got some support from Vercingetorix, who tried to throw down some Scorched Earths to support us, or support me. There were actually 2 War Dog players as well who suffered quite a lot. The worst War Dog player who got hammered by the archers, he couldn't do much, and the second one who released his dogs with Arminius and still couldn't do much because there were swordsmen there who could easily take them down. The War Dogs could not be used properly, and well, they kind of wasted themselves right around there. But okay, so the second best player in my team were the archers, whom I kinda failed to defend. At least they didn't die and they earned quite a decent amount of score for themselves. I'm guessing it's mostly capture, perhaps a bit of decapture, and of course some damage support. I know how my team's javelins got their score. They killed elephants and weakened some swordsmen, but I have no idea where the opposing team's javelins were. They probably could have been a lot more useful than they were, because it seems they got hammered by horsemen or something else that pretty much instantly killed them. Off the scoreboard, it seems they discovered something and got hammered instantly by them. I think that my friendly javelins in this match probably contributed actually most to the victory. I was just causing confusion, while they actually took down elephants and weakened swordsmen. If you really want to try out elephants, you can try them. I'm not gonna suggest these because I'm sure everybody already wants to try it, so it would be better if I cause less matches to be heavily unbalanced and, well, one team to have elephants and the other team to have no counters nor the elephants. Yeah. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe and thanks for watching.